the stripe. Stone Colby's right there with him. Checkered flag is out. Who gets it done? It's a photo finish for Branch Hatch coming to the line.
From the push, I don't know. This is going to be a photo finish.
Oh, Stone Colby taking the checkered flag to the inside. Who's it going to be? It's a photo finish. Give it to Brendan Burt. Conquers Watkins Glen. Gets turned across the line.
Thank you for joining us, folks. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure. Good evening, and welcome to Interlagos, where tonight West Coast Sim Racing brings yet another round, the GR86 Cups, to another iconic circuit in the world of motorsports for round 2 of the season. Interlagos is a track built on rhythm, elevation, and precision. It is a place where the lap feels busy from start to finish, where drivers are constantly managing weight transfer, brake release, corner exit, and where even a small mistake can cost momentum for the entire sector. That makes it a perfect fit for the GR86 Toyotas. These cars reward discipline, clean inputs, and drivers who know how to carry speed without overdriving the platform. At a circuit like this, it's not about brute force. It's about putting the lap together, staying tidy in traffic, and making the most out of every opportunity. With round 2 underway, the pressure starts to build. The early shape of the championship begins to form tonight, and every position on track will matter. Welcome to West Coast Sim Racing. Welcome to Interlagos. It's time to go racing. Thank you very much for joining us, folks. Thank you very much for staying tuned. As always, it's a pleasure to be your host and take you from green to checkered flag. I'm Sagar Bakshi on behalf of West Coast Sim Racing. Welcome to round 2 of the GR86 at Interlagos, a 2.62 mile track with a hefty elevation of 2,500 feet. It'll be 15 corners, 5 to the right, 10 to the left, and 134 feet of elevation change around Interlagos. Temperature's pretty moderate out there tonight. Couple keys to the race for the drivers: protecting the momentum through the middle sector, maximizing exits onto the straights, staying disciplined over the elevation changes, for there are many, and race smart when traffic hits you. Let's take a look at the championship points before we got here tonight. Jeremy Fletcher leads with 51 points in front of Slater Colby with 36. Nathaniel Redmond in third. Birch, Onofre, Davis, Cunningham, Colby, Cantor, and Rainey round out your top 10. Sean Young, Dilworth, Nico Colby, Alexe Andreu, Warren Johnson, Christian James, Darren Colby, Glenn Bratton, and Bryce Brown round out the top 18. Over to tonight, though, what do the drivers have in store for us? Well, it's to no surprise that Jeremy Fletcher leads the charge currently at the top. Currently, the number 22 is in first place for the West Coast Sim Racing GR86 Cups, but that's to be expected from a real live GR86 driver. Birch, though, not too far behind in the number 36. Not sure what he's drinking or what he's put in his cereal this morning, but he's got some momentum there. But the Colby train begins with Slater, Nico, then Stone in third, fourth, and fifth. LaShawn Young Dilworth, the driver we're looking at now, running in sixth for Odyssey Motorsports. Session coming to a conclusion. We'll get the Unofficial results posted here in just a second. It was Fletcher who topped the charts with Birch in second, Slater Colby in third, Nico Colby in fourth, Stone Colby in fifth, LaShawn Young Dilworth, then Connor T. Cunningham, Edwin Onofre, Warren Johnson, Jeffrey Davis, Joe Rainey, Alexei Andreu, Jacob Boland, Darren Colby, Jason Holcomb, Christian James, Glenn Bratton, and John Mollenkopf, rounding out the 18 participants. Let's take a look at our starting grid, shall we? It's Fletcher and Birch on the first row to start things out for us. Then it'll be Slater Colby and Nico Colby, P3 and P4. Stone Colby and LaShawn Young Dilworth on the third row tonight. And going for the back, Connor T. Cunningham and Edwin Onofre. Then on row number 5, Warren Johnson and Jeffrey Davis alongside each other. Row number 6 belongs to Joe Rainey and Alexei Andreu in 12th. Number 7, Jacob Boland and Darren Colby. Number 8 for Jason Holcomb and Christian James. Row number 9 for Glenn Bratton and John Mollenkopf. That'll round things out for us here tonight. Odyssey Motorsports TV in the house, cheering on Els and Jeffrey tonight. Thank you very much for your love and support from the Odyssey Motorsports TV crew. Thank you very much. Two epic heats coming at us quick, fast, in a hurry, folks. Don't go anywhere. Just when you think it's over, the action has only just begun, especially with West Coast Sim Racing. You quite never know what's on the table. And we get ready to take the lights here at Interlagos, folks. Fletcher, Birch, then the Colby train. Here we go. Waiting for the pace car to pull in, then Fletcher controls the field. At his discretion, the word is go. All the way over to the pit wall. He1 is underway for West Coast Sim Racing, and it's green, green, green in the air. Further back, Stone Colby's trying to go for a move. The 52 on the inside makes a leap for the lead of the race, makes a leap, and it's secured for just a blink of an eye, a moment. But Alexei Andreu's off at the S's, rejoins the track way down in P14. The gap remains just about nil for the entire field. They're all glued together right now, coming through turn number 4. All the way down through turn 5. This is going to be the braking zone for turn 6. Now we're going to see the next passing opportunities. Anybody going to be latest on the brakes? It doesn't look like anybody wants to go for a cheeky overtake in the deceleration zone of 6 and 7. And that takes you all the way down to corner number 8, where the cameraman is set up now into the infield section of turn 9, 10, 11. This is where the elevation change can really thwart a driver's momentum on his charge. Looking at the 502 of Connor T. Cunningham right now. He's caught in a little bit of a battle, up one position currently. Not too shabby of a run for Cunningham currently in P6. Take a look back at Joe Rainey. Joe has made quick work of the field, gaining 4 positions currently. Up here between Fletcher, Stone, and Slater, they chase each other down nearly to the pit wall. And Stone Colby, who's up 3, slots in single file line behind Fletcher, but it's Slater that wanted to look for an overtake there. The number 25 looked like he was going for a move, but there goes Fletcher off at the S's. Slight mistake might open the door up now for Sloan and Slater. Here comes Slater's charge on Stone. What can be done here? Way further back, Birch looked like he was going for a move also. Keep our eyes peeled from the number 36, who's unfortunately down 3 positions right now, but will charge through the field and get back a few. Braking zone here at the top of the key of turn 8. Still single file line for the entire field. The drivers are expressing a lot of patience right now, knowing that they're just stuck in these battle packs and they have to wait for mistakes from the cars in front. This is very, very cordial and polite currently. Cordial and polite no longer as the 52 tries to go the long way around the outside of turn 14, but it's a very long run through turn 15, pushing Fletcher nearly into the pit wall. Goes Stone Covey, and Fletcher has to back out. Goes back into P2, but he is latest on the brakes. The number 22 has a little lick of the stamp and a send there on Stone Colby. Side by side, 2 by 2 through the S's, down the hill we go racing. A little bit of pushing and shoving going on at the front. Nico Colby, the young gun, 16, Copeland Motorsports driver, now behind his teammate. Can the two work together to control the field? We heard Nico Colby talking about the other West Coast Sim Racing Championships and saying that Jeremy Fletcher was a little too timid to participate, let's say. And threats of getting beaten. He won't be beaten in his own machines until he makes a little mistake that backs up the field. That might open the door for the 16 on the here and now. Let's take a look. Does it open the door? Not with Jeremy Fletcher's defense going on right now. Putting on all the blocks on Nico Colby. On the outside, tries to go for a switchback, but the acceleration loses the rear end of the car. Nico Colby is now under threat from Brandon Birch when he was attacking for the lead onto Fletcher. Already 5 minutes completed on the clock. We're a third of the way through this one. Fletcher darts back over to the racing line to avoid the pit barriers. 3 abreast going down into corner number 1. Birch challenges for the lead of the race. Goes all the way. Can he make the move? He is in front of Fletcher by a nose hair. Fletcher not too pleased with that, trying to go for a move for the lead himself at turn 4, bumps out the 36 to the apron. And the apron is not where you'll find traction. The 36 of Birch manages to hold on to his momentum right now going in towards turn 6. It's going to go the way for Birch. We all know that the inside line is the more favorable one. You're able to hip check your partner just that much more. And there's a little hip check there between the 52 and the 22. And bargain for a little bit more real estate on the outside as gravity favors the bold and the brave. Jeremy Fletcher in second place behind Brandon Birch, the number 36. Oh no, and there's the 17 of Joe Rainey. And did he spin all on his own or was he pushed? Let's get a West Coast Sim Racing replay of what happened here. And it looks like he may have done it all on his own. The 17, unfortunate incident there, just getting on the loud pedal. And that'll spin Joe Rainey round and send him to the back of the pack, unfortunately. What about Edwin Onofre, the number 99 driver? We haven't talked about him much tonight. He's up 3 positions on his gain. Battle for the lead between Birch and Fletcher as they dart around. On board with Fletcher as we look back. A little bit of tire scrubbing there from Fletcher. Darts back over from the apron to the inside line. The door opens up a little bit from the 22. Can he continue this defense as he backs up the field? The battles brew between Slater and Stone. The 25 and the 52 alongside each other now. Coming through turn number 9. Through turn 10, 11, and 12. He'll be the inside line for the 25 of Slater Colby. Been a good positive trend for Slater so far. Down one off the start, but back up into that positive trend. Whoa, what a defense there. Up for the lead, Jeremy Fletcher and Birch going wheel to wheel all the way through the center S's down the hill. Almost into the grass goes Birch, but he's able to avoid it. 3 wide now between Slater Colby, Jeremy Fletcher, and Edwin Onofre. Driver just a lap ago, we weren't singing his praises. Now we will be as he challenges for P4. Two distinct packs forming the top 7 spread out by just a second and a half. We have 7 cars squeezed into a second and a half of asphalt. .502 of Connor Cunningham and the 7 of Jeffrey Davis. It looks like Connor Cunningham loses the position at the end of the day to Jeffrey Davis. Number 7 of Davis up 4 positions tonight. Here we go. Jeremy Fletcher, Birch, Slater, Colby. Everybody wants a piece of the pie here tonight with just 4 minutes remaining. That'll be just 2 laps left on the clock. Flash for the lead. Fletcher to the inside at turn 5. We'll be done and dusted by the time we get to turn 5. Move actually sent and delivered at turn 4. Birch under threat again now. Has to slaughter his way over the curbs to just keep up the speed and momentum. There goes Fletcher to a shallow apex to try to cover off any attacks from behind. Three minutes remaining on the clock, folks. Fletcher, Birch, Colby, Onofre, Colby, Davis, Cunningham, Johnson, Young, Dilworth, Bolland round out our top 10. Where are all the Jacob Bolland fans tonight in the YouTube chat, folks? Fletcher tries to stave off the attack from Birch behind. He knows he only has to do it for another lap or 2, and then this is over and done with, and we can go into the feature race. Coming down the main straight here. Side by side between the 25 and the 52. Slater, Colby, a nose ahead of Stone. Edwin Onofre finding 3rd place on his run. Can he secure anything else tonight? Tech Sport Machines looking pretty snazzy out there currently. With a gain of 5, he'll definitely get the hard charger award if he can keep it together. Going on to the final lap now. Barney's going to be waving the white flag. Here we go, final lap battle between Fletcher, Birch, and Onofre going in towards corner number 1. Who's going to be later on the break? So far, it's going the way of Fletcher, Birch, then Onofre. Birch didn't want to sell the dummy that early on in this race. He knows there's a long stretch of road between turn 3 and turn 4. He's following in line behind Jeremy Fletcher. Onofre hung out to dry right now, gets no help from Slater behind. Onofre late on the brakes, closes down the gap to the number 36 up ahead. The number 36 actually goes 2 wheels off into the runoff road. I'm surprised he didn't get a slowdown penalty for that one. Brendan Birch lucky to escape with his life right now, but up the road, Jeremy Fletcher putting on the defense of a lifetime, going in towards turn number 7 and 8. It'll be Fletcher a nose ahead, but here comes Onofre around the outside at corner number 9. Can he make this one stick? Edwin Onofre is there, but he doesn't have enough momentum. Now just trying to hold on for P3. Fletcher using all the track width that he's bought and paid for. Onofre Onofre loses the position to Slater Colby. Now it's going to be a drag to the line between Onofre and Stone. Fletcher's gonna take the win tonight. Birch, Slater, Stone, Onofre, Jeffrey Davis, and then Connor T. Cunningham. Warren Johnson, LaShawn Young, Dilworth, Alexei Andreu, Nico Colby, Christian James, Darren Colby, Joe Rainey, Jacob Bolin, Glenn Bratton, Jason Holcomb, and John Mollenkampf round out the grid. Let's get those results posted for it. Jeremy Fletcher took the win with Birch and Slater Colby. 1, 2, 3. Top 10 going all the way down to Alexei Andreu with Jeremy Fletcher taking the win. Birch in second, Slater Colby in third. Can anybody stop Jeremy Fletcher and his hard charge? Edwin Onofre came home in fifth, losing 2 positions on the last lap. It was a drag to the line between Fletcher and Birch. Carthy Cunningham, Warren Johnson, LaShawn Young, Dilworth, Alexei Andreu round out the top 10. Nico Colby, Christian James, Darren Colby, Joe Rainey, Jacob Bolland, Glenn Bratton, Jason Holcomb, and John Mollenkampf round out the 18 drivers. Mobile Ninja, Daddy couldn't join, but hope we all had fun. We are having a good time. Sad you're not here. Hopefully you can make it next week, or hopefully you can make it to many of the West Coast Sim Racing events that we got going on this week. Interlagos, or the Autodromo Interlagos José Carlos Pace, was renamed in 1985 to honor José Carlos Pace, a Brazilian F1 driver who won his only Grand Prix at Interlagos in 1975, but tragically died in a plane crash in 77. Let's take a look at our starting grid, shall we, folks? It's going to be Fletcher and Birch on the first row this time around. Then it's going to be Slater Colby and Stone Colby on the second row. Third row going to Edwin Onofre and Jeffrey Davis. Fourth row for Connor Cunningham and Warren Johnson. Fifth row is going to go the way for LaShawn Young, Dilworth, and Alexei Andreu. Sixth for Nico Colby and Christian James. Seventh, lucky number 7 for Darren Colby and Joe Rainey. Jacob Bolin and Glenn Bratton on row number 8, and row number 9 for Jason Holcomb and John Mollenkampf. And we're ready to go racing, folks. Fletcher and Birch on that front row. Pace car pulls in. Barney has the green flag in the air. He waves it high. He waves it proud. And we're ready to go. Green, green, green here at Interlagos. Coming down the hill through the set of S's, Fletcher leads, but this time Birch is under attack from Slater Colby. A little further back, he tries to get the hard work done early this time. Oh no, big accident in the background, including Glen Bratton and John Mollenkampf. Try to get an instant replay of what happened there, brought to you by West Coast Sim Racing, but for now we'll keep our eyes glued here. Edwin Onofre locked in his battle, driving the GR86 car to victory lane, has got to be on his forefront. These 2.4 naturally aspirated, horizontally opposed boxer four-cylinder engine produces around 228 horsepower and 184 pounds of foot torque. Edwin Onofre getting use of these paddle shifters, driving it all the way up into sixth gear. Alongside the 52. Gains a singular position. Battle for P2 between Birch and Slater. Slots in single file. Slater behind Birch. Birch attacking Fletcher on the outside of turn number 4. Will he get pushed out to track limits? He goes all the way to the limit, but does not cross over them. At corner number 5, they continue their side-by-side bout. It's definitely not over. A little bit of hip checking and paint scrubbing involved from Birch and the JFR machine. Excuse me, the Copeland Motorsports machine has a huge moment under braking going in towards turn 8. Falls in behind Slater Colby. What a recovery there from Fletcher. Connor Cunningham loses a position now to Nico Colby. Again, the young gun continues to charge up the field, up 4 positions now. Jason Holcomb back in the mix has Jacob Bolland. Oh, I know the Bolland fans are here right now. Let's hear it for the Jacob Bolland group. The number 43 at the back of the pack, running in 15th position, still having a good battle with Holcomb right now. Up here, the drivers fan out. Birch still puts on the stops to the 22 of Fletcher. And then it'll be Slater Colby behind. .25 trying to get the switch back to the inside on Fletcher. Slater Colby couldn't find the daylight as it was diminishing vortex of doom. It was in. There goes Fletcher on Birch. Holy Toledo, what a send and a half on the 36. That's going to force a 3-wide situation going in towards turn 11 of Mugello. Continuing the 2x2, Stone Colby and Fletcher leave Birch in the lead. Fletcher trails now behind Stone Colby. The battle for first picks up to be 3, 4, 5, 6 cars, a few. Everybody trying to jostle for the lead. Is that going to be the best place to be when the clock strikes midnight? Or is it better to sit back in the draft coming out of turn 12 and try to challenge forward? Jeremy Fletcher trying to go late on the brakes at turn number 4, drags Birch all the way out to the painted green lines, and Birch is going to lose the lead to Jeremy Fletcher. A little bit of defense there as the momentum belonged to Birch. He had to check up there behind Fletcher. Edwin Onofre still battling. This time it's going to be alongside Nico Colby, who's not done charging up the field. Colby looks to the inside line on Onofre, and I didn't know there was an insider line, but the 7 of Jeffrey Davis was looking for the inside line there. Coming out of the final corner for the 4th time. Stone Colby all the way back over to the racing line. Falls behind Birch and Fletcher's very aggressive moves at the front. And what a gaggle of cars we have on site today. Two seconds separates the top 9 drivers currently. Way off in the background is Nico Colby, but we'll stay glued here between Birch and Fletcher, as this is the battle for the lead. Fletcher with a huge haul of points from last week's running, out into the lead by a healthy margin. Can anybody challenge Fletcher and stop his back-to-back dominance? The hat trick belongs to Fletcher tonight, as he's gone for 3 wins in a row. Jeffrey Davis and Edwin Onofre can't settle their dispute either, as the 7 and the 99 are back to running nose astern. Fletcher, Birch, Colby. It's always you 3. Two by 2 is the 52 of Stone going to help out Fletcher, or is he going to help out Brandon Birch? Looks like Birch gets the push from behind and he'll be in the lead and the one to control the field. Nico Colby now battles it out with another Copeland Motorsports driver. Off into track limits goes the 52. This will actually give him better top speed coming through 6 and 7. A little bit of moving there from Nico Colby scares the likes of the 52. Fletcher looks to the inside, coming out of the penultimate corner. Will it be on like Donkey Kong? It very much is. Fletcher with a wiggle coming out of the final corner. That'll hurt his top speed, but he's getting help from the other Copeland Motorsports driver, Nico Colby. Coming through turn 1 and 2. This will be all the way down the hill through Curva do Sol. Fletcher leaves the inside line open. It could be Nico Colby's opportunity to get into the lead of the race, and now he has a shot to control the field. Nico Colby's inside line turns to the outside for 6, 7, and 8. There's a big drift from the number 16. Can he recover? He does, but everybody has to check up behind him, and that's going to cause a huge parking lot. Nico Colby makes one critical mistake, and it costs him a tremendous amount of time. That leaves Birch and Fletcher to duke it out. With a 2/10 gap behind, that's quickly diminishing. Is there anything that Birch could have done with that little margin of buffer? Here we go. That looks like a move from Brandon Birch. He set this one up from a long way back, but Fletcher swiftly shut the door on that conversation. Another spin. This time it belongs to Birch. He's going to spin out from P2 when he was alongside Stone Colby. Halfway point of the race has been breached, folks. Fletcher continues to defend the field back going into turn one. Stone, the number 52. What can he do in P2? Now, will he lose the position to the 16 of Nico Colby? Keeps on challenging forward. The inside line for Nico Colby in front of Stone, the 52. And he'll get that one secured under braking coming out of turn 10 and turn 11. Fletcher, Colby, Onofre, then another Colby. Warren Johnson gets into the mix, tries to get involved and throw his name into the ring as well. Warren Johnson historically has not been a top 5 contender. Let's see what he can do moving up from P8 on the grid to P6 currently. He sees Edwin Onofre and Slater right ahead of him. Johnson trying to look for a way through, but Onofre and Slater are putting on a show for Johnson currently. Let's ride on board with him. Warren moves to the inside on Onofre. That looks like a good move going down and towards turn 1. Warren returns to the racing line, puts on the blocks to Onofre. Nothing about that one. Now he's alongside the 25 of Slater. Slater doesn't seem too keen about giving up the position here. So fight on track will be what it is. Going into turn 4, Johnson's on the outside, pushed out to the apron, and Jeffrey Davis there to collect the pieces. Fletcher is going off into the grass, trying to defend as hard as he can, keeping everybody behind. Here comes Nico Colby. 3 wide battle for the lead here. Nico Colby finds the daylight on Fletcher after a few mistakes. It will go the way for the number 16. a move. Coming down for the lead of the race. Fletcher tries to find anything he can do to throw at Nico Colby, but no doing so far until the bottom of the hill at the S's. It will go Jeremy Fletcher's way. Nico Colby again on Fletcher. And the wipers are on for Fletcher. That might have just been an accident there. I don't believe it's raining in the sector. A little bump there from the 16 into Fletcher. And that's going to send him a little deeper than he'd like to out of turn number 9. Into turn 10, it still belongs to Fletcher. Goes deep out to the grass. He's used every inch of the track. I think he knows where track limits are. Warren Johnson with a black flag penalty. Gonna fall like a stone in a pond to the back of the field. Brandon Birch all the way down in 7th place currently. Seeing this battle unfold in front of him has got to be nerve-wracking. Birch behind Davis. No longer as he looks for the inside line on that number 7. It might go wheel to wheel all the way out to the painted green line, and they do. The Odyssey Motorsports driver gets a little bit there of room to race, but into 6 and 7. Will be to no avail. Jeffrey Davis still holds on in front of 36 of Brandon Birch. First big gap of the race that we've seen. Now they're gapped out around 0.6 of a second between Fletcher, Colby, and Stone. Fletcher backs off at the end of this lap. I think he's going to try to go for the fast lap of the race this time by. The very circuit for which this track was named has historic origins. And the champion tonight will have their name etched in history as well for West Coast Sim Racing. Who will that be tonight? Right now, it's looking like Fletcher has it all in his hands. Trying to do commentators math to see if we'll get this lap plus one more or if we'll just get this one. It's going to be very, very, very close. Barney would be waving the white flag for us this time by Fletcher, Colby, Nico. What can he do in P2? Flashy of the headlights, letting him know the moves are on. The battle for the lead. Fletcher, Colby, then Stone. Nico trying to go around the outside at curve number 4 is going to be a little bit dangerous there. They both go all the way off the racetrack, rejoining back. It's going to go the way of Stone, the 52, for the lead of the race. Nico Colby out of the event. He parks the car. The field inherits a position. Can Stone hold on to the lead? Fletcher is being hyper aggressive on the last lap. He's trying to go for the win. The back-to-back could be his here now. He's going to go out into the grass, but keep his foot in it. Keep it planted. He tumbles back to P3. It's going to go the way for Stone, Slater, then Jeremy Fletcher. Ono Ferrari dragging to the line with Jeffrey Davis. Connor T. Cunningham, Christian James Birch, Colby Johnson round out our top 10. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll have our driver interviews pulled up in just a minute. Let's take a look at the results here for the feature race, shall we? Stone Colby took the win by 23 thousandths of a second in front of Slater, then Jeremy Fletcher in third. Christian James, a hard charger with 5 positions gained. Stone Colby gets the fastest lap. Edwin Onofre in fourth, Jeffrey Davis in fifth, Connor Cunningham, Christian James, Brandon Birch, Darren Colby, Warren Johnson round out our top 10. Joe Rainey, Jacob Bolland, Alexe Andreu, Sean Young, Dilworth, Glen Bratton, John Mollenkampf, Jason Holcomb, and Nico Colby. Let's go ahead and talk to our drivers. First, we'll go ahead and talk to Jeremy Fletcher, who came home in third place for the feature race. Jeremy Fletcher, that was a bit of a hectic battle all race long, but you did your best to control the field. You couldn't go for the Quattro tonight. How does it feel to come home in P3, though?
Yeah, I tried to do something special around the last corner, and it didn't really work. I kind of bounced off of his door, but it was knew it was going to be close. It was chaos the entire race. Everything was super close. Me and Nico got together earlier in the lap and just pretty much glued off the racetrack, so kind of sent my chances out the window, and everyone was close on X's. I finished with 24. I think Stone did as well, and obviously some people got black flags for it, so kind of withheld a little bit. I should have just done a bump and run, sailed them out of the way, but I'm gonna keep some points, not get black flagged, and it was still a fun race overall.
Kept some points and kept the championship lead for sure, at the very least. A healthy 20-point margin on your way into it. Thoughts on the season and looking forward to a successful run?
Yeah, I mean, as long as the races are like this, I'm comfortable. I like the chaos, but this track definitely keeps everyone close. I think the entire field was together. But going off of that, I think everything from here gets easier. So hopefully we can get a couple tracks I can just drive into the sunset, and other ones that I can kind of control the chaos.
Let's see what you can do. Is anybody you want to shout out or anybody you want to thank, Jeremy?
JFR Esports, Colby family, Rainey family, you for the broadcast, Warren for putting on this league, and everyone that's kind of came in and out, last season, this season, everyone that keeps it together.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jeremy Fletcher. Have a great night and stay safe out there.
Appreciate you.
Let's talk to Slater Colby next. Slater Colby, you had a hard-fought battle for P2 at the end of the day for the feature race. Bringing the number 25 to the podium was no easy feat. Talk to us about how you're able to pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, the whole field was pretty much glued bumper to bumper, door to door, like the entire race. Me and Edwin we hit doors. It sent me, kind of spun me a little bit. It wasn't his fault. He just, he hit the curb and it kind of pushed him into me. And then in the next corner, I almost spun out. So that I went from like 3rd to 10th or 11th or something. And then had to work my way back up. And then it was just, honestly, it just felt like a dogfight the entire time, which is super fun, but like you just don't want to, take other people out or get taken out. So you're constantly watching mirrors and breaking points and stuff. But I had fun. The track is pretty narrow when you're trying to go 3-4 wide in some areas. So, but yeah, it was fun.
It's a great F1 track. It looked like a great GR Cup track as well. You're absolutely right. And Fletcher was too. I think the top 10 separated by around 2 seconds for a majority of the race. Was pretty exciting to watch the entire time. Some of those wheel to wheels got a little out of hand and resulted in some collisions, and a couple of them were just picture perfect. Was there any of them that stood out to you the most?
Not really. I mean, I knew when I saw Stone blocking the last corner against Jeremy, I knew Jeremy was going to try and, stick it around the outside on him. And I saw him clip and I saw Jeremy get pushed. I was like, I'm just going to go wide open. And then, I had a monster run, and then Stone pushed me to 3rd across the finish line in the first heat. So I kind of owed him a push across, but I thought I was going to barely get him across the finish line, but he ended up getting it. But no, I mean, honestly, everyone up front drove really solid. Everyone drove, defensive and hit their marks and, hit you when, you can be hit. So, no, I mean, everyone drove really good and I'm pretty happy with it.
It was a pretty great show tonight of talent and skill. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, vehicle buyers, friends and family at home watching, you for broadcasting, Warren for putting on the league, and Jeremy gives me tips here and there, so I guess I'll kind of shout him out a little bit, but I'm glad I was able to keep him behind me across the finish line.
Right on, Slater. Thank you very much. Have a great night, my friend.
You too, thanks.
And let's talk to our feature race winner, Stone Colby, the pilot of the 52, who drove to victory lane tonight. How does it feel to be at the top step of the podium after basically what everybody's described as a knife fight in a phone booth?
Well, after last week, it feels pretty damn good. I needed that. Last week was rough. I fought myself up to P3, and then I had too many X's going across the line, so it dropped me all the way to like 8th or 10th or something. But no, I mean, this race it was very cool to come out on top on this race, just because the draft and how crazy everybody was racing, with each other. And I mean, we were door to door the whole race. I mean, even the second race, I for some reason thought it was the same time limit as the first race, so we're going at it like crazy, and then all of a sudden I look down and there's still 16 minutes left. I'm like, holy cow. But no, everybody drove really good. When you're in situations like that, when you're racing a race like that, it's a lot of fun. But that is where one thing iRacing lacks is the contact and what can happen with the contact with making you spin. It's not realistic. So if I'm behind somebody and I hit them in the bumper in a turn, I'm gonna spin, they're not. So you got to be really careful. You're looking a lot through their back window, through their windshield for the braking zones. But no, I mean, I had a blast and I was super stoked to end up winning this one.
That's awesome, Stone. When it comes down to practicing, driving through someone's mirrors or someone's windshield, how do you get talented at something like that?
I mean, for me, I'm lucky enough and fortunate enough to say I get to do it in real life. So I get a lot of practice from that. But I mean, it's a lot of memory, going with the track too, where you're practicing. And unfortunately, I don't really get, a lot of time to practice stuff. But luckily, I got on here about an hour before and I was able to learn the braking markers and stuff like that. And you kind of just adjust to it. And you're always better off braking a little earlier when you're behind somebody than braking too late, because then you're just going to cause a massive crash, take yourself out, take somebody else out just for basically being impatient. So it's but for me, I'm definitely lucky enough to say that I have learned a lot of that in real life.
Right on, Stone. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank here in Victory Lane?
Warren for putting on the league, you for broadcasting as always, vehicle buyers, JFR, everybody showing out and making it fun, and everybody just racing clean.
Right on, Stone. Have a great night and stay safe out there.
You too.
Last but not least, we'll catch up with Warren Johnson, the number 24. He was running pretty well, made it into the top 5 before the black flag penalty took him out of the feature race.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. I didn't get a slowdown or anything, and then it just said, "Hey, you have to drive through," and I was like, "What the heck?" So I made the announcement I was going to clear it, and then we're going to look at it in the race review. If it was something I fucked up, then I'm just going to not score myself for this race. But I had no incident or anything. I didn't hit my penalty limit, or I don't know what happened with that. But it's fine. Still top 10, I think. In the second race, it could have been a top 5, but shit happens. It was a good race either way. That was extremely close racing the whole time. I'm very happy to see that. That was awesome. So congrats to Stone. It's good to see him back in the winners circle, and then to all the rest of the guys too. It's good racing. Yeah,
it really was some great racing. Do you have any highlights or big moments that you'd like to share from your race tonight?
Oh man, I just the whole thing. I had a fucking front row view of the whole battle, the whole race, both races. So that was awesome watching those guys fight. Got a couple of people got caught out by some BS from iRacing. Joe Rainey, one of them. It's the thing, you run into this back of someone to bump draft them and then you spin. That's not real at all. So it's just the iRacing physics thing. But other than that, sucks for them, but it was a good race overall. I think that was actually a really, really good race. I'm sure you're out of breath after that one.
I sure am, yeah. Is there anybody you want to shout out or any announcements you'd like to make, Warren?
Thanks for the broadcast as always. Doing a great job. Happy to have you here. Just thanks to all the racers coming in, week out, and we'll see you on Wednesday for the Miata series, the Apex MX5 series. Where are we racing next week? I think we're racing Long Beach. So Wednesday, be prepared for that one. It's going to be a crazy one. And then Thursday as well. That's going to be an F4 race at VIR. So stay tuned. It's going to be a fun week.
It definitely will be an exciting week. Thank you, Warren Johnson. Have a great night, my friend.
You as well. See you guys.
If you're interested in joining us, folks, if you're interested in staying involved in West Coast sim racing, look no further than getting involved by just joining the Discord. Links in the description down below. Get yourself inserted into your sim rig and get fired up every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. GR86 Toyotas. Then we have Mazda MX-5s on Wednesdays, and then the GT3 Formula Challenge on Thursdays. 3 exciting nights of racing action every single week. Come and get installed into your sim rig and come join us on track, folks. It's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag, but as always, every good thing has to come to an end, and so shall this. Have a great night, everybody, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays.